Your thoughts are not your own. They were whispered into you by priests, by parents, by screens. Every belief you carry wears a mask that says, I chose this. But the truth is uglier. Most beliefs are bowel movements dressed in philosophy. Nietzsche's words, not mine. Ideas rise from digestion, from fatigue, from bad air, and then you baptize them with logic. That's how the herd thinks. Not because it's true, but because it's comfortable. If you don't learn to think against cultural programming, you will die with their software running in your skull in the next few minutes. I'm going to show you Nietzsche's forbidden tricks. The strange methods he used to delete the herd's operating system, and why thinking differently isn't rebellion. It's survival. Nietzsche warned of a sickness that eats entire ages. Not famine, not plague, but history itself. When you are force-fed the past until you choke. When every decision bows to what came before, action withers. You become a curator of corpses. He called it the sickness of history. And his cure was brutal. There are only 3 ways to hold the past. You can worship it as monumental, the shrine of heroes. You can hoard it as antiquarian, a dusty collector's cabinet. Or you can wield it as critical, a hammer that smashes what no longer serves life. The herd lives in the first 2. They cling, they preserve. They drown in facts and anniversaries. But the free spirit chooses the 3rd. He judges. He condemns. He burns away the past to clear a future. To think differently is to become untimely, to fight against your age instead of parroting it. If history is the cage, the mind is the lock. Nietzsche listed the bugs in our operating system. 4 great errors. First, we invent imaginary causes. A storm breaks. You whisper, it is the gods. A fear rises. You say, it is fate. Second, we confuse sequence with cause. The rooster crows, the sun rises. We pretend the rooster rules the sky. Third, we double the deed with a ghost. The lightning strikes. We imagine a lightning maker. The act happens. We invent a doer hiding behind it. Fourth, we worship free will, pretending that every motion of the body is a sovereign choice, when in truth, most of it is reflex, inertia, habit. Grammar itself is the trickster here. You say, I think, as if a little pilot sits inside your skull, pushing buttons. But thinking happens, the way lightning flashes. The eye is smuggled in after the fact. Once you see the trick, you hear the ghost in every sentence. It is the herd's favorite spell, to keep you mistaking habit for freedom. Nietzsche spoke of errors, the ghosts of grammar, the fake causes we paste on the world. Occultists speak of spirits, parasites of the mind, illusions that ride your attention until you believe they are you. They are the same vision, told in different masks. To Nietzsche, the task is to become untimely, to smash the idols of your age, to burn away the false history and false self. To the magician, the task is banishment. Draw the circle, name the spirit, command it to depart. Both are saying this: your mind is programmed by what it cannot see, and you must invent a ritual of cutting. That ritual can be as sharp as grammar surgery. Crossing out the word I, crossing out the word because. It can be as silent as a breath held until the inner chatter dies, or as fierce as declaring war on the idols of your culture. The neuroscientist would whisper about networks and habits. But we do not need that vocabulary here. The point is older. The point is occult. Your age installs illusions in you. Your task is to expose them as spirits, and then strike them from your circle. This is the bridge. The untimely thinker is a magician in disguise. And the next step is the greatest banishment of all: the death of the so-called true world. For 2,000 years, the herd told a story that behind this world of blood and dust, there is another. A true world. Pure, eternal, perfect. Plato promised it. Christian priests guarded it. Even philosophers in powdered wigs defended it. Nietzsche laughed and wrote its obituary. Step by step, he traced its decline. First, the true world was promised to the wise and the holy, then to the sinner who repented, then to the humble believer. Then, in the age of reason, it became a faint abstraction, an idea no one could touch. Finally, it vanished. The shutters slammed. The true world became a fable, and with it, the so-called apparent world collapsed too. If the backstage was only a story, then the stage itself was never a shadow. It is all that exists. This is the deletion, not just of heaven, but of the double vision that split life in two. There is no higher world, no truer reality behind the curtain. There is only this one. Raw, dangerous, divine in its immediacy. To think differently than your culture demands is to stand in this cleared space where idols have burned, where shadows no longer whisper of hidden realms. It is not rebellion. It is survival. Once the false world is burned, you need a replacement. If you do not choose your own law, the herd will reinstall theirs. Nietzsche knew this. He said the strongest instincts are not those we inherit, but those we build. Second nature, a discipline repeated until it flows like blood. The priests once used this power. They turned pain into obedience. They taught generations to interpret every failure as guilt, every desire as sin. The result was a culture programmed to kneel. Today, the methods look different, but the principle is the same. Systems train you to react before you can think, to repeat what everyone repeats, to consume values already packaged. The point is not to escape conditioning. You cannot. The point is to write your own. Choose one instinct to install. Refine it until it becomes automatic. That is your circle of power. Choose one lie to cut. condemn it until your body no longer moves to its rhythm. That is your banishment. Every repetition is a ritual. Every habit is an incantation. If you do not write them, they will be written for you. This is the work after the deletion. To become the author of your instincts. To create a second nature that is stronger than the first. You cannot think your way free. You must act. So here is a ritual for the next 48 hours. First, the walk. Take 1 hour outdoors with nothing but a pen. Write only the thoughts that come in motion. Burn the rest. Second, the hammer. Choose one belief you inherited without question. Trace its origin. Ask who it served. Then strike it down. Third, the ghost cut. Write the sentence. I believe X because Y. Erase one. Erase because. Read what remains until the grammar ghost dissolves. Fourth, the seal. Choose one instinct you want to own. Write it as a short command. Repeat it until it feels less like effort and more like blood. Do these 4 acts, and you will not be the same creature who began them. This is not inspiration. It is installation. It is how you turn philosophy into second nature. It is how you step outside the herd. If you are ready, leave your mark below. Write these words. I choose second nature. That is the license. That is the banishment. That is the beginning of your untimely life. Until next time.